Watch the whole video where the G gets it. All right, with that out of the way, let's get into this thing. We all know how I feel about the Enterprise G, so let's just get it over with. So, Enterprise G first appeared in the ending of Star Trek Picard. It used to be the Titan A, and then they, for some stupid reason, renamed it to Enterprise G. Anyway, let's get into it here. The box, it's got very similar detail to what you saw on the Enterprise F box. So it's got some like the raised lettering on the logo and here on the name down below. And obviously it's bigger because this is an XL model, unlike the original Constitution 3 model, which was the Titan A. So this one's going to be bigger than the first model in the collection. All right, let's get into it. Opening the box. Magazine, like always. And there it is, Enterprise G. Pretty decent sized model. Get a look at it. I'm guessing this is going to be very similar to the Titan A in terms of, like, you know, metal to plastic ratio. Already tell the top of the saucer, totally metal. The bottom of the saucer, that's plastic, as is the body. You can actually see the separation there on the neck, if I can get the angle right. There it is. Yeah, you can see that seam there. That's where the metal ends and the plastic begins in the lower part of the body. We got transparent plastic inserts for the Bussard collectors and the nacelle grills, just like on the original Titan A model, so you can get some light pass through there. Not that you can really see the light pass through. Let me see if I can angle this a little bit better. It's as good as this is getting in this lighting. Just like with Titan A, the impulse engines are painted in, so these are not plastic inserts, which again surprises me given the size of these. I would have thought they would have been able to fit some plastic in there, but nope. They just painted those in, as well as painted in the smaller impulse engines here on the side there. And of course, here we got shuttle bay. Come on, focus. There we go, some detail on the shuttle bay. You can kind of see the name right there on the end of the launching pad or whatever that is. Here's the bottom of the ship. Like I said, this whole section is plastic. So over here we got the NCC 1701G, blah, blah, blah. Main deflector, that is also plastic. So they didn't paint that one in. I don't remember if they had painted that if they used plastic or they painted that one in on the Titan A. I'm pretty sure they used plastic, so I'm guessing this is just kind of the same model, just blown up bigger and with a different name on it. Yeah, honestly, not that much to say about it because basically it's the same thing. It's the Titan A, but bigger. Yeah, this is the only model that they've done both a standard and an XL size of it. And, you know, I guess the excuse being that it got a rename in it, so they can release one as Titan A and one as Enterprise G, and then of course, you know, this one being Enterprise, they make this one the XL. All right, decent looking model. It's like I said, it is basically what you would expect if you saw the Titan A. It's just the same thing, but bigger. The detail is about the same. We got a little bit of misalignment on the windows, which again is very typical of what we used to see with Eagle Moss, and Fanhome has proven to be no different. All right, let's get a look at this thing in the stand. Here it is in the stand. It sits in there pretty solidly. It makes sense given that most of the metal is right here in the front, and there's not a lot of metal on this model, so there's not a lot of wonky weight distribution here. So the rest of the plastic part just kind of hangs here right off the back without causing too much disruption to the balance of the model. It sits in there pretty snugly. I wouldn't be worried about this thing falling over or anything. So yeah, this one sits pretty well in here, which always a concern with these models here. Eagle Moss had the same issue. Fanhome, we've seen a couple that the stand wasn't that great. The Sagan has the Sagan class, the Stargazer has probably been the biggest problem child when it comes to the stands. But beyond that, Fanhome has done a pretty decent job of making sure these things, sit securely in their stands, and Enterprise G is no different here. So this one, sits in there pretty nicely. Now, I don't have the original Titan A model for size comparison because that went on eBay basically as soon as that video was done, and Enterprise G is going to be no different. But I do have the Star Trek Discovery USS Enterprise, which is a very similar size to the Titan A model, so I brought that out here for size comparison. And as you can see, it's kind of what you'd expect. It's just bigger. But yeah, that should give you an idea of what the standard size versus the XL should look like. I also wanted to compare this to some of the other XLs in both the Fanhome and Eagle Moss collection, and since this is only the second XL in the Fanhome collection, the only other ship to compare this to is the Enterprise F in terms of the Fanhome stuff. So yeah, you can kind of get an idea of the size comparison. Enterprise F is a bit longer, which is to be expected because Enterprise F is huge in lore. So with the scale of these models, the Enterprise G is going to be a bit wider, which is not accurate to actual scale of the ships because Enterprise G is way smaller than an Odyssey class. But yeah, just wanted to give you a chance to see the travesty that is the Enterprise G next to the prettier, the sleeker, the more advanced, and the just far superior in every way Enterprise F. And here we have the E, F, and G all together. Again, you can kind of see XL, it's all pretty consistent in scale. I'd throw the D on here too, but I'm kind of running out of table space, so we'll just stick to these three. But yeah, you can kind of see if you are expecting this to be of proper XL size, you're not going to be disappointed because it is an XL. It lives up to the other XLs in scale. All right, let's take a look inside the magazine now. Here we go. USS Enterprise NCC 1701G. Let me put this down a little bit so you can see a bit better. There we go. That's better. Here we go. Enterprise G commissioned 2402, 465.5 meters in length, Captain 7 of 9, phasers and photon torpedoes, deflectors, and metaphasic shields. And here we go. It sits in the stand just like that, just like we showed earlier. There we go. Big old render of the Constitution 3. As well as some backstory on it, which I'm not going to go into. Some orthographs of the Enterprise G, which, very similar to what we saw in the Titan A book. It's just, got 1701G on the name there. Here we go. Some more designing of the Enterprise G. I'm not going to go super far into this. I can't imagine it's going to be that different from the information that we got in the Titan A book because, it's the same ship. Here we go. We got some background on Bill Krause's original Shangri-La class. Why can't we get a model of this? This is a way prettier ship. I would love to get a model of this thing instead. And a little bit more info on Enterprise G, including some tactical specs, though, again, Titan A. And here we go, some more renders and concept art, and then the worst scene in Star Trek history, as well as the dedication plaque, which I don't think we actually got to see in the show. I know we got to see... I think we got to see Titan A's dedication plaque, but I don't think we got to see Enterprise G's plaque too. The fact that I know further along in the collection, I know Fanhome is releasing the Titan A's dedication plaque as a subscriber gift. I wonder if they'll be releasing this one too. That would be interesting for fans of this ship, I imagine, because I'm someone who really likes the dedication plaques as well. Like I've got the ones for the D, the E, the Defiant and Voyager, which I have sitting up next to their XL versions. I would love to get a dedication plaque for the F, kind of in this style. But yeah, I don't imagine that happening because again, we never saw that in the show, and I never get what I want when it comes to the Odyssey class. So yeah. Anyway, that's the whole magazine. But yeah, that is the Enterprise G in total. Let's get this back up. Yeah, Enterprise G. In terms of the model, it's pretty good. Basically what you would expect from, based off of seeing the Titan A. Really not a whole lot of difference here. It's just bigger and has the Enterprise name and registry on it. So yeah, that's it. There's really not much more to say about it because, like I said, a lot of this was covered with the Titan A in terms of what it is. But yeah, the only other thing to really do would be to just rant about how much I hate the ship and why. But I don't think you guys want to hear about that. So we're gonna wrap it up here. So yeah, that is the Enterprise G XL model from Fanhome. I hope you found this review helpful in deciding on whether or not you want to get one of these for yourself. Again, hope you enjoyed seeing this thing. And now I am going to resign this thing to its proper fate. I'm kidding, it's going on eBay because I hate this shit, but at the same time, it was $85. I'm not smashing this thing with a hammer. So yeah, see you guys later, and stay tuned for the next one, which I think is the Dauntless 2. That should be showing up next month. But yeah, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the merch store, check out the affiliate links in the pinned comment. If you're ever shopping on the Epic Game Store, be sure to use my content creator code STU1701. Any of these really help me out, and I really do appreciate it. Either way though, thank you so much for watching. My name's Stu, and I will see you guys next time.